After that night, things accelerated. I began noticing small time gaps. Nothing dramatic, just moments where I'd look at the clock and realize 20 minutes had passed, or I'd find a glass of water on the counter I didn't remember pouring. I stopped drinking entirely, stopped taking melatonin, stopped everything. One evening around 8 p.m., my mom called. She sounded confused. "Why did you call me crying?" I hadn't called her. She said I FaceTimed her at 7:42 p.m. I was sitting at my desk at 7:42 p.m. on a Zoom meeting, camera on. There's a recording. She sent me a screenshot of the call log. Missed FaceTime from me. Duration 2 minutes 11 seconds. I checked my call history. It was there. Outgoing, 7:42 p.m. I asked her what I said. She hesitated. "You kept asking if I remembered the cabin." "We've never had a cabin." I told her that. She went quiet, then said, "You said we used to go there when you were little." I don't have any memory of that. I checked old family photos that night. There's one photo I've seen 100 times. Me at maybe age 6, standing in front of a wooden structure, trees behind me. I always assumed it was a park, but zoomed in, the background looks like a cabin porch. I asked my mom about it the next day. She said it was taken at my uncle's house. He doesn't own a cabin. He lives in Phoenix. That's when I started questioning my own memory. The breaking point came 2 weeks later. I decided to check my Ring doorbell history, scrolling back through saved motion clips, mostly deliveries, me leaving for the gym. Then I found one from 2:03 a.m. No notification on my phone that night, no memory of it. I opened the clip, the hallway outside my apartment, empty, for 8 seconds. Then my door opened. I stepped out, wearing my charcoal hoodie, looked directly into the camera, and smiled. Not a normal smile. It was too wide, too steady, like I was holding it on purpose. I stood there for almost a full minute, just staring at the lens. Then I said something. No audio on Ring clips, but I could see my lips moving, slowly, deliberately. Then I walked back inside, door closed. I don't remember any of that. I checked the timestamp, same night as the doorknob incident, 3:12 a.m. The time doesn't match. The hallway clip says 2:03 a.m. The bedroom recording says 3:10 a.m. One of them is wrong, or I am. That's when I realized something wasn't right. I showed the clip to Mark. He tried to joke about it at first, sleepwalking TikTok moment. But when the smile appeared, he stopped laughing. "That doesn't look like you," he said. "It does. That's the problem. It looks exactly like me, just aware." Things got worse. I started finding search history I didn't type. How long can someone mimic another person? Memory gaps, adult onset causes. Can two people share biometric data? That last one bothered me because my phone unlocks with Face ID. If someone else is using it, it has my face, or my face is letting them. One night I decided to stay awake. No cameras, no recordings, just me. I made coffee at midnight, sat on the couch, phone in hand. At 1:26 a.m., I felt something strange. Not tired, not dizzy, just distant, like the room shifted half an inch to the left. My ears rang briefly, then stopped. I blinked. The clock said 2:04 a.m. My coffee was gone. Sink running. I was standing in the kitchen. I don't remember getting up. That was the first missing time while fully awake, and I wish that had been the worst of it. The next morning, I had a voicemail from Hannah. I hadn't heard from her in weeks. Her voice was shaking. "You need to stop. I don't know what you're trying to prove, but showing up at my work isn't funny." I never went to her work. She sent security footage. A man standing across the street from her office building, hands in pockets, looking up. It was me. Same hoodie, same stance. I checked my Google location history. It showed my phone at home all morning, but her footage timestamped 9:17 a.m. At 9:17 a.m., I was on a Zoom call, camera on, recording saved. 2 places at once, or 2 versions. That's when the thought entered my head that I haven't been able to shake. What if I'm not the original?
I stopped going outside unless necessary. I covered the bathroom mirror for a few days. I know how that sounds, but sometimes when I looked at myself, there was a half-second delay in my expression changing, like I was watching someone catch up to me. I scheduled the sleep study sooner by calling every day until there was a cancellation. 3 days before the appointment, I woke up to a notification, Face ID disabled. I hadn't changed anything. It said my face had changed significantly. I went into settings to reset it. When the camera preview opened, I froze. For just a split second, the face on screen wasn't matching my movement. It was smiling. I wasn't. Then it corrected. Maybe a glitch, probably a glitch, but my hands were shaking. That's when I noticed something else. In the Face ID setup preview, behind my shoulder, my bedroom door was open. I always close it before bed now. Always. I slowly turned around. It was closed. When I looked back at the screen, it was closed there too. I don't know how to explain that. The sleep study results came back inconclusive. No classic parasomnia markers, no seizure activity, nothing definitive. The doctor suggested stress-induced dissociation, therapy, grounding techniques. I started therapy, but I haven't told the therapist everything, because there's one last thing, and this is the part I haven't told anyone. 3 nights ago, I decided to confront it. At 2 a.m., I stood in front of my hallway mirror, lights on, phone recording. I looked directly at myself and said out loud, "If you're there, I know." Nothing happened. For about 10 seconds. Then I felt it again, that slight shift, like the room misaligned. The version of me in the mirror didn't move immediately, just a fraction late, barely noticeable, but enough. And then it tilted its head. I didn't, not at first. Then my neck jerked involuntarily, matching it. My phone slipped from my hand. When I checked the recording later, the tilt isn't visible. It looks synchronized, perfectly normal, but I know it wasn't. I know I reacted, not initiated. I should have left that night. Instead, I'm still here, still going to work, still replying to emails, still living in this apartment. But sometimes I'll be typing, and I'll feel like someone is finishing the sentence for me before I think it. There's one more thing. Yesterday, I received a package, no return address. Inside was a printed photo. It was me, standing outside my own apartment, looking up at my window, time-stamped 2 days from now. I don't know who took it. I don't know when it was taken. And I don't know which one of us is planning to be there. But tonight, I'm setting up the camera again. And if I smile at it, I need you to understand something. It might not be me. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. I know this story sounds unreal. I wouldn't believe it either if I were hearing it from someone else. But I needed to say it out loud somewhere, even if it's anonymously. Even if it's just through a story shared across the world. If you've ever experienced something you couldn't explain, missing time, strange messages, moments where reality felt slightly off, I'd really like to know. Not because I want validation, just because it helps to know you're not alone in feeling that way. By the way, I'm an Indian girl from a small village in India, and I share stories like this from my side of the world. My village is quiet, natural, peaceful, the complete opposite of this kind of story. Sometimes I think that's why I'm drawn to telling them. If any of you from the US ever visit India, I'd genuinely love for you to comment and tell me. I try to reply to as many people as I can. India is beautiful in its own way, and you are always welcome here. Take care of yourselves.
And if you ever catch your reflection doing something a second too soon, look away first.